Welcome back to World History, where forgotten wonders rise again from the ashes of time. Today, we fly back over 2,600 years into the heart of the ancient world, to a golden sunrise over the legendary city of Babylon. The Euphrates River flows like a silver serpent through its mighty stone walls, and above it all stands a vision so astonishing, so otherworldly, that even ancient historians debated whether it was real. The hanging gardens of Babylon. Imagine approaching Babylon. From afar, traders on camelback stare in disbelief as layers of greenery stretch into the sky, defying the desert all around. Cascading waterfalls shimmer in the morning light, feeding terraces bursting with flowers, palms, and rare fruit trees. This was no ordinary garden. It was a wonder of the world, built not for glory or conquest, but for love. In the quiet chambers of a palace, Babylonian scribes and priests hunch over clay tablets. With styluses in hand, they sketch blueprints, not of temples or fortresses, but of floating gardens. Their challenge? To recreate a mountain in the middle of a flat, arid land. Not just any mountain, but one that would ease the homesickness of Queen Amethyst, who longed for the forested hills of her native Media. High on a terrace, the queen stands in silence. Vines twist around marble columns. Fragrant flowers bloom beside towering date palms. Yet her eyes are distant, searching the horizon for the green hills of home. King Nebuchadnezzar II, a ruler of unmatched ambition, watches her. And so he makes a vow to bring the mountains to her. A grand unveiling begins. Workers, hundreds, strong, pull ropes and hoist massive stone platforms using wooden cranes and counterweights. Plant-filled baskets rise through the air, layer by layer. Dust swirls, sunlight beams down, and slowly the gardens take shape, not just a tribute to beauty, but a symbol of devotion carved into stone and soil. But how did these gardens live in a desert? Ancient engineers devised a marvel of hydraulic design. A chain pump system, powered by human strength, lifted water from the Euphrates through twisting aqueducts and hidden canals. The terraces were hollow and layered, allowing water to flow downward like veins through a living body, sustaining every leaf, every blossom. By night, the silhouette of the gardens glows under the moonlight, faint torchlight flickering through the foliage. The market below bustles even at dusk, as Babylonians trade spices, fabrics, and stories, all under the gaze of the green mountain above. Far away, in the great library of Nineveh, scholars etch poetic tributes to this man-made paradise into clay scrolls. Words in Akkadian whisper across time, the mountain of life, the garden that touches the heavens. But this is only the beginning. As we unravel its secrets, the question remains, was it all real or the grandest illusion? In history? In a land scorched by the Mesopotamian sun, where sand once ruled unchallenged, something miraculous began to unfold. Through the vision of kings and the genius of ancient engineers, the desert was transformed into a lush, living paradise. Imagine watching the parched earth turn green in fast motion, layer by layer, life taking root where none should thrive. The hanging gardens were not merely planted, they were engineered, crafted with precision, and sustained by one of the most advanced irrigation systems of the ancient world. Step inside this fantasy turned reality, and the senses are overwhelmed. Birds sing from flowering trees that bloom in every shade imaginable. Peacocks strut through vine-wrapped staircases. Cool fountains gurgle between pomegranate groves and shady cedar trees. This wasn't just a garden, it was a statement of power, a sanctuary of peace, and an engineering feat beyond its time. Babylon didn't just grow a mountain of plants, it built a living miracle. As the sun dips below the horizon, the city of Babylon awakens in golden hues. From towering ziggurats to domed palaces, oil lamps flicker in the gathering dusk. And, amidst it all, the hanging gardens blaze with soft light, casting dancing shadows across the city. It's no wonder travelers from every corner of the ancient world arrived in awe. Merchants, nomads, and diplomats stunned by the sight of a green mountain rising from a land of dust. In the royal court, engineers explain their secrets to Nebuchadnezzar. Using bronze models, They describe spiral pumps and the principles of water pressure centuries ahead of their time. Water is drawn from the Euphrates and pushed upwards, feeding hidden aqueducts that snake through the structure. Every level is fed in turn, each terrace nourished from below. Caravans roll into Babylon, loaded with silks, incense, and stories. But all eyes turn skyward, to the impossible vision above. Gardeners carefully arrange plants brought from as far as the Indus Valley and the Nile. Here, roses from Persia bloom beside Babylonian dates and the towering cedars of Lebanon. The hanging gardens were a botanical mosaic, blending cultures, climates, and continents. Today, the ruins of Babylon whisper clues. Near Hilla, Iraq, archaeologists sift through broken bricks and shattered tiles. Debates erupt. Some argue the gardens stood here. Others claim they were never in Babylon at all. Was it Nineveh, a poetic illusion? Or has time simply buried the truth too deep? In artistic reconstructions, we see ghostly outlines of what may have been massive stone tiers, cloaked in green, juxtaposed against the dusty remnants that remain. In vivid recreations, we watch ancient Babylonians recline under fruit-laden canopies, laughter echoing through waterfalls and shaded pavilions, and when the skies turned violent, when thunder crashed and winds howled, the gardens stood firm. Built with drainage channels, sturdy stone supports, and clever design, they resisted the fury of nature itself. What the ancients built wasn't just beautiful, it was indestructible. Or so they thought. As centuries passed, the great city of Babylon continued to shine, its mighty walls and the radiant blue of the Ishtar Gate standing as symbols of power and splendor. But beyond those gates, partially veiled in mist, the hanging gardens loomed. Like a fading dream, no longer in their prime but still magnificent. Travelers whispered of their beauty. Even as vines overgrew once pristine terraces and the fountains grew quieter, then came a visitor whose name would echo through history. Alexander the Great. As he entered Babylon, the young conqueror was struck by what remained of the legendary gardens. What once burst with life now stood partially in shadow. But the soul of the creation still breathed through its crumbling terraces and silent aqueducts. Alexander, captivated, made Babylon his capital, longing to revive what had been lost. But time, like sand, had already begun its slow erasure, centuries later. In the arid plains near modern-day Hilla, archaeologists unearthed an ancient clay tablet. On it were etched faint inscriptions, words of Nebuchadnezzar, the king who had once built a mountain in the desert. It spoke of his green palace, a sanctuary for the queen, a monument to his love and empire. And suddenly the story once thought to be legend had roots in real soil. The line between myth and reality begins to blur. In one vision, the gardens rise above the clouds, floating like a Mesopotamian Eden untouched by decay. Birds sing among branches that never wither and waterfalls spill from the heavens. It's a dream, yes, but one so vivid it refuses to be forgotten. Today, the search continues. Researchers pore over satellite imagery, aligning ancient maps with the terrain. Excavation sites are scanned, digital overlays applied, and theories debated. Could the gardens have been built underground? On a different riverbank? Or were they never in Babylon at all, but in Nineveh, hidden behind Assyrian walls? Modern minds reimagine the past. In a stylized leap through time, we see tourists walking through a fully reconstructed hanging gardens. They marvel at the towering stone arches, the engineered terraces, the whisper of water once again flowing. It's fantasy, yet rooted in fragments of truth. At twilight, the gardens come alive in memory. Reflected in the river, they glow with fireflies and flickering torchlight, an image half real, half dream. Scholars construct 3D models, revealing the complex structure beneath the beauty: tiered platforms, hollow columns, hidden aqueducts. Every detail hints at ancient mastery. Imagine one last feast, a regal banquet beneath the canopy of stars. Musicians play, dancers twirl, exotic fruits are served beneath vine-draped pergolas. It's a final celebration, one last moment of wonder. Before silence falls. And then, as if swallowed by the sands of time, the hanging gardens begin to fade. The plants wither, the stone crumbles. The sound of flowing water dies away. All that remains is dust and a legend. A story so powerful, so enduring, that even time could not bury it completely. The hanging gardens of Babylon may be lost, but their echo still blooms in the hearts of dreamers, explorers, and lovers of forgotten wonders.